So I'm going to talk with you this morning about letting your people be people first. So you're going to hear a lot of great things today. You've already heard some fantastic stuff. But I want to talk about the people side of it. Because one of the challenges I see is that I think we're only looking at it through half of the lens. And we look at it from a people perspective, if only. We actually look at it from an employer perspective. And yet if we look at people, they have a human need to be significant. They want to be seen, they want to be heard, and they want to feel important. And they want to be put ahead of profit and waiting times and net promoter scores and any other KPI that we measure them within into their life of. But the reality is, through most of the dialogue that happens between an organization and the employee, they just don't believe that to be true. So they get a bit cynical. So when an employer says to an employee, "We really value you," what they hear is, "You want me to make you more money. You want me to improve waiting times or productivity or whatever else it is." It's all one-sided. And yet we know if you want to engage people, you've got to get them engaged in themselves first. So as organizations, what we do is we do stuff to people. And what happens when we do stuff to people, it's our stuff. So we talk about our mission, our purpose, our values. But it might surprise some of you to understand this, that when we wake up on a Monday morning in October, our values are not their values. As people, we have different values. So your mission is not the employee's mission. Your values are not their values. And if you want to get people engaged, you've got to get them engaged in their stuff first. And then they can't help but bring it to the workplace. And what we know is if you get people engaged in their stuff, their mission, if you like, what they do on a Monday morning is they wake up and think about what they've got to do and what they want to do. That's their version of their mission. They don't call it that, of course. You've got to get them thinking about their stuff. And what we know is if you get people thinking about their stuff and they feel positive about it, because that's normally what happens when you think forward and you think to the future, you are 50% more likely to say you're very happy with your today. You're 50% more likely. And for most part, today equals work. And what we also know is that people who feel positive have 31% more brain productivity than those at neutral. Not even disengaged, just neutral. 31% more brain productivity. That's a third more. So if we get people engaged in their stuff, it makes them feel good. But to do that, we've got to do it authentically. So let me ask you a couple of rhetorical questions. When you think about those things on your list, those 3 lists that you've made, and you imagine spending a bit of time on them, how does it feel? It starts to feel just a little bit good, doesn't it? Just a little bit. It's funny, isn't it? We have lots of dreams when we're this big, and we kind of get stuck in doing, and we forget about what we want to be, do, have, and experience. And when we do start to get reminded of that, we start to feel energy. Did anybody notice the volume in the room? It's funny, huh? That's because it's important to us. And what we know, we do this as a start of our programs and engagement programs for people, and we do it across 12 areas. And people tell us, on average, they feel 34% more engaged in their stuff, their agenda, their mission, if you like, just from a 45 or 60-minute activity. 34% more engaged in their stuff. And that's how you get positivity. And if you can get that kind of energy from what are essentially complete strangers sharing stuff, imagine that in the workplace. So just imagine on a Monday morning that Kathy comes in. I say to her, "Hi, Kathy, how was your walk at the weekend?" Kathy goes, "Ooh, he remembered. Ooh, I feel a little bit more significant." She doesn't say that, of course. What she says is, "It was cold and my calves are killing me." But what's happened is I've asked her, because I know she's training for a charity walk. And what happens is you get people started to engage with each other. So rather than half the lens being the thing that the employers do to the employees, you've got people starting to engage each other. So if you took that little activity back to your workplace and back to your teams tomorrow, and the next time you've got a team meeting, and you just ask them to come to the meeting with 3 or 4 places they'd like to go to, don't call them dreams, because that sounds a bit flaky. just 3 or 4 places they would like to go to, and then go round the table like we just have, you will create a level of energy significant that is just going to drive its way through that meeting. It's going to drive its way back into the workplace after the meeting. And as people connect with each other and relationships build and rapport increases and so on. And that's how you start to get what I would call leveraged engagement. Because instead of employers doing engagement to the organization and doing it to people, you've got people engaging people in their stuff that's important to them. And that's how you uncover the other half of the lens. Because what happens is people can't help but bring that positivity into the workplace and that level of connectedness, that level of team, and so on. But whatever you do off the back of today, please do something different. This is a room full of advocates. This is a room full that knows about employer voice and first-line manager and better internal communications. But please do something different and do it from the employee's perspective. And they are unique, like your lists are unique. If we did this as an activity, there would be something like 21,000 dreams that you would have listed. So please do something different and align it to the employee, because hope is not a strategy. Thank you.